All right, welcome everybody to our call for today. This call is a list building deep dive, but even more than that, it is a call to actually kind of make up a little bit for. We ran our list building extravaganza a few days back, and one of the bit of the feedback that we got was people were missing the strategy. And in hindsight, I can look at it and see how that could be because it honestly, it was a little bit more of a high level follow along with people who are already employing these strategies for success, giving by examples, showing what we're doing and such, but it didn't really give a deep dive outline with the basics so that it all makes sense. So today's call is really about digging in from the start and making it an easy to follow kind of a paint by numbers, if you will, really of how to start and grow a successful online business. So I'm going to jump over to slides and we're going to get the ball rolling here. So give me 1 second to switch to the slides. And I've actually titled today's call Lead Generation Made Easy: How to Grow Your Business Like the Pros, but without the long learning curve. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're just starting in this business, if you're trying to go that path on your own, it is a bit more of a challenge. And it can actually be take you much longer unless you follow and mirror people who've done it before you. And so my goal as an entrepreneur and coach is to really help make it simple. And the way I look at it, it's kind of like this. You know, I love tinkering. My partner Krista is listening in on this as well, and she knows that I love to play around with science. But here's the thing: even complex science is pretty easy, not easily, but easy when you think about it. You don't have to know the equation for the laws of gravity to understand that if you throw something up in the air, it's going to come back down based on its weight, et cetera, other elements like that. But, of course, if we complicate things, you might say, well, what if it's a feather that I throw up or it's a balloon? Well, yeah, it may not come down right away. The wind may blow it around a bit, but we know that eventually it's finally going to make its way to the earth. The point is, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Okay. So, and one other thing to figure out, I'm Michael Neely, by the way, if you haven't figured that part out yet. I'm a seven-figure entrepreneur, and I've been mentoring business leaders and entrepreneurs for over a decade now. And what my clients regularly tell me that they love about my work is that I make the complex simple. And that's what I'm going to do for you today. So, a quick bit about me, though, so you can trust me before we dive into this. I used to be a professional actor. I know it's kind of weird that I shifted from that to business. But as I mentioned, seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm founder of the Authority Academy, an international best-selling author, the host of 6 podcasts. I'm also a Mensa member and founder of the Infinite List, which we're going to talk a lot about today because that is the foundational basis of what the big chunk of your business is. And so, what is that chunk that I'm going to talk about? Okay, so let's break it down. There are 3 features of any business that are common. I don't care what industry it is. These are the 3 simple elements that every business requires. Number 1, well, actually, I'm going to start on the third one. We're going to go work backwards. Okay. The last element is fulfillment. And this part is what you do, what you deliver, whether it's a product, a program, a service. That's the fulfillment piece. And I'm not really going to talk about that today because I figure you guys have that already dialed in. You're already doing what you're doing. You're a coach, you're a trainer, you're a consultant, whatever that is. Fulfillment is on you. Sales, in order to fulfill, you've got to sell somebody your product, program, or service. And obviously, that is an important element of it. You can't fulfill anything unless someone has purchased it. I'm not going to teach about sales today, though you will pick up some great tips that are going to help you to sell. But I'm going to assume you either have your selling technique down or you have a coach that leads you in that area. That's not our expertise. The first part of any business, though, it all starts with lead generation. You have to have the person who is interested in your product, program, or service. and that is lead generation. And that is the key. That's the piece that we're going to really be digging into today. And we're going to talk about leads as the foundational piece of your business. And again, you've already got sales and fulfillment dialed in. But here's the thing, next piece is business strategy. Okay. And so, one important piece about leads, and this is why we focus so much on those, and I feel like you really should too. And hopefully, by the end of the call today, you'll understand it more for yourself as well, is that as long as you know how to generate a consistent stream of leads, you have endless opportunities to improve on your sales and fulfillment. And you will, I believe, if you know how to continue to get leads and you work to improve those other elements, you will be successful. And so this is a key stratagem that you need to understand. But now we're talking strategy. Let me just dig this a little step further. There are kind of two edges of a business, if you will. There's business strategy, what we're talking about, and then there's business logistics. What do I mean by logistics? Logistics are going to be things that the foundational pieces that your business is built on. You're going to need a way to, find people. You're going to need what we would call operational needs. And these are going to be things like your CRM. And for those of you who may not know what a CRM is, that's your customer relationship management software. Okay. It's usually, well, we'll cover a little bit of these in a bit. So I won't dig into the names right now, but that's going to be where you collect and store your leads. You're going to probably need a website, though not necessarily. If you've been to my website, you'll know it hasn't been updated in ages because it's not a necessary part of your business, depending on the type of business you do. And you're probably going to need merchant services provider. Okay, how are you going to collect money from your clients? You got to figure out a way to do that, whether you're doing it over your phone using Square or setting up a product with Stripe or anything like that, PayPal, your merchant services. These are logistics. And there's other things that fall into that category of your business that are just foundational needs. Okay, these have nothing to do with strategy. This is about what a business needs to run. If you're doing a brick and mortar, it would be your building space, your office space for people to come in. All right. Uh, by the way, as a matter of fact, business logistics could also include your computer that you're operating from. Okay. So next up, we want to kind of dig into a little bit of these. All right. So let's talk about your CRMs, customer relationship manager. It's super important that you choose wisely when it comes to your CRM. And there are plenty of popular ones out there. I love Entreport. It's the primary CRM that I use, but I also use Kajabi. And people might go, well, why are you paying for and using two different CRMs? And well, the truth is they each serve different purposes more effectively, one more effectively than the other in those realms. And so I like to use them both. Another popular CRM these days, Go High Level. There's Keep. Now, well, and I spelled that wrong. It's Keap. It's Keep. Used to be Infusionsoft, but now it's Keep with an A, Keap. And Constant Contact, and there are many more. Kartra, Active Campaign. You may be using one of these already, but I will tell you that there are a lot of them out there, and you want to pick one that you can grow with. And here's the key to this. You can switch. Okay. So when I first started out, and maybe some of you are using one of the, what I would call a lower level CRM, like Aweber or MailChimp. Those are great for basic email stuff, but most of the bigger, more popular CRMs do so much more than that. They will do tracking, they'll do affiliate tracking, they will do things like your shopping carts and actually help you to collect money and stuff. So they're much more advanced levels. These that I've listed here fall into that category. All right. So that is all about CRMs. And this is a foundational logistic that every business is going to need. Now, in order to find and collect your leads, to put them into the CRM, okay, how are they going to get there? Where do you find leads and get them to opt into your list, if you will? You're going to need to have a lead magnet. And your lead magnet is a foundational piece for anybody in the online business space where you're not a brick and mortar, you're trying to track people worldwide. You need to have a hot lead magnet. And so I want to dig into this a little bit for you as well. And For those of you who may have been, attending any of my prior trainings, this may seem old, but never hurts to refresh. And it's important that you let these really sink in because it is key to really drawing people into your world. So I'm going to break it down to three simple pieces of any highly converting lead magnet. Number one, it needs to be immediately available. People want something now. We are in a society of immediate gratification. We don't want to wait for something. And in respect of this, I just have to also tell you that if you want to send somebody your book, I promise you something that you can deliver electronically will convert better. Okay. People may not want to wait for it. Okay. If you're going to schedule to meet with somebody, they want to do it faster, not later. So immediate availability is key for a highly converting lead magnet. People want things right now, and you should be able to deliver it to them digitally. Number two, it should be easily consumable. I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, but I had a client call in one day. He said, Michael, I don't understand it. On my podcast, I'm offering my lead magnet, and I'm just not getting any conversions. And I asked him what he was offering. He said, dude, I am offering my a 30-minute discovery call with me. That's a half an hour of my time. It's super valuable. You know how much I charge per hour? It's a great free offer. And I said, well, the problem is it's also a half hour of their time. You have to keep that in mind as well. They don't know you very well yet. So you're asking them to give up a half hour of their time, not just yours. And people aren't ready for that. You need to make it easily consumable. Not only that, by the way, it also breaks rule number one to schedule some time with you. Well, that's going to be something in the future. It's not available to them in this instant. Okay, so easily consumable. If you're offering an ebook, I promise you, you will get more conversions. More people will opt in for your cheat sheet. They want it to be easy. We're very time crunch society as well. Okay. And someone has a question in the chat there. Is it okay to ask for their email, phone for a lead magnet? Yeah, it's okay to ask for whatever you want, but I can tell you, you will get fewer opt-ins if you require the phone number. I tend to not ask for the phone number at all, or if I do put it there, I will make it where it's an optional piece. Okay, because if someone has to give you their phone number, honestly, if they really want the lead magnet, they'll probably put in something fake if they don't want to give you their phone number, or they may just leave altogether because they don't know you yet. And the phone number is a little bit more personal than just giving you the email. All right. And the final piece, your lead magnet should solve a top of mind problem. What are your ideal clients up in the middle of the night worrying about? Okay. If you're in the relationship space, maybe they're lonely. Maybe they're waking up going, oh, I wish I had a partner. I'm tired of being alone. Maybe you're in the health and fitness space and they're going, gosh, I wish I could just drop these last 20 pounds. Or maybe it's a health issue or whatever that may be. Or maybe they need to make more money. What is their top of mind problem? Your lead magnet should speak to that. Okay, so in a nutshell, your lead magnet, I'm going to just encapsulate this into one sentence. A highly converting lead magnet will be an immediately available, easily consumable solution to a top of mind problem. And if you get that dialed in, you're going to have people raising their hands, signing up for your email list, and joining your tribe in droves. And by the way, we're doing a surface level on lead magnets right now, but I'm going to pop another link here. And I can also send this out to you later. It might have even been in the email that invited you here. I'm going to be doing a deep dive training just in lead magnets on Sunday, day after tomorrow, and that will be available. If you want to opt in for that, please click on, or you won't be able to click on this link on the slide, but copy that over and put it in and opt in for that. And you will get a replay from that sent to you for that. It's going to be a really deep dive into lead magnets. We're actually going to review some. We're going to pull some up, some that are bad, some that are not so bad. And we're going to show you what we would change. We're going to even look at the opt-in page and so forth. So it's going to be a really good training you're not going to want to miss. All right. So check that out and just understand that your lead magnet, that's your first connection with somebody in the world that you're wanting to bring in as a potential client for you. All right. Now, once you've got someone to subscribe to your list and follow you, you're going to need to have a welcome sequence. All right. Here's what you're going to want to have. Again, remember I said we're just going to do this almost like paint by numbers. It's not rocket science. It's simple if you just follow these easy steps that others have, paved the way before you. All right. So an email sequence. When someone opts in, they see your lead magnet, they go, wow, that's really cool. Maybe some of you who've joined us today, you've gotten one of my lead magnets before. Something about it prompted you to say, wow, I want that. Well, when you sign up for a lead magnet, when someone signs up for your lead magnet, you're going to first want to send them that welcome email. Okay, just saying, hey, congratulations on taking advantage of this free, cool resource that I've provided for you. And here's the link to go get it. Okay. You also want to send it in that email for them. You don't, yes, it's available immediately. You don't want to send them right to it from their click. So now that's the welcome email. Now, here's a little sidebar of what's going to make your welcome email better. You need to position it as a setup for the next sequence. And in that, I mean, you need to say, hey, Nancy, thanks for signing up for my free offer. I think you're going to absolutely get a lot of value out of it. Here's the link to go grab it now. And because you signed up for this, I think you're also going to be interested in some of the cool stuff I'm about to give you here. Okay. And so over the next, we'll use mine as an example because I have a podcasting lead magnet. So I tell my people who've opted in for this, I say, over the next 7 days, I'm going to send you an email every day. Now, I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but trust me, this is important and it works. I'm going to send you an email every day. And in each of these emails, I'm going to share a different way for you to monetize your podcast. I teach 7 ways to monetize a podcast. So every day I'm going to share a new one with a little bit of a deeper dive in it to support you in your podcasting venture. All right. And so we send that email every day. This sequence that you're going to start after the welcome primes them for it. It lets them know to expect it. You do this because you want them to look for it. Okay. And you want to make it something related to what they opted in for. And this next series of 7 emails or 5 emails, whatever you put together, it's called the indoctrination campaign. Now, this indoctrination campaign is designed, I know a lot of people don't like that word, indoctrinate, but that's really what it's designed for. You want to indoctrinate them to your world. You want them to look forward to your emails. You want them to get used to opening your emails, and you want them to remember who you are. The biggest mistake I see new entrepreneurs make is they put out a lead magnet and people opt in for it, and then they're in their world, and then that person is not emailing them. Okay. Then that person is not emailing them. And what happens is that, let's say they wait a whole month before they send an email. Well, now people have forgotten who you are. And they get an email from you and they're like, who is this person? I don't remember signing up for this. And then they opt out and will often send a complaint. And that is the worst thing that can happen to you for your deliverability score. And you're going to lose subscribers. So you have to go through this indoctrination process. It pays off hugely in the long run. Next up, after they've completed that sequence, you're going to put them into a nurture sequence. Okay. Campaign and sequence are kind of interchangeable as far as, email automations go. Sometimes I'll use the name campaign, sometimes sequence. They're essentially the same thing. It's a series that you have queued up to go out in order. Okay. Now, here's the thing. The nurture sequence is not your broadcast email. Okay. The difference is this. A nurture sequence may be you set up a weekly email, and these are all pre-written and queued up to go out. And so, say Sally joins your list on Monday, she completes her indoctrination sequence and she gets email number 1 of the nurture campaign. Tom joins your list a month later, completes the indoctrination sequence, and he's going to get email number 1 a month later. They're receiving these on different days based on when they joined your list. And therefore, emails in the nurture sequence should be non-day specific. They're what we would call evergreen. They're not based on time. Okay. So you're going to want to not put something in there like, hey, Tuesday, we're offering this new course, jump on in. Well, maybe you're not offering that new course later because this email now is part of a sequence. It's a year later. So they should be evergreen, just giving value. Educate your audience more, provide something that you know that they're going to want because of why they signed up to be in your world. Okay. That's your nurture sequence. And those you should do at least on a weekly basis. All right. This is different than a broadcast. A broadcast email may be much like you probably received today or yesterday or within the last couple of days promoting this talk today. That's a broadcast. It's one and done. I sent it out to all of you to say, hey, come check out this training. And I won't send that email again. It's not part of a nurture sequence. It is completed because it was designed to get you here today. All right. The next sequence you're going to want to have, and this, by the way, this is a little more high level technique here. It's called a re-engagement sequence. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say someone's been on your list for a while and they stop opening your emails. They've been on your list for maybe a year or two and they stop opening your emails. Well, if you're using a higher level CRM, a high quality one, it can tell for the most part if they've opened an email or not, or engaged or clicked on a link. You can set whatever your measurement parameter is. So if someone hasn't been opening your email and you could set it for, say, 3 months, they haven't opened an email in 3 months. Well, you want to get them to re-engage. And this sequence is designed to start sending them out again, daily emails, starting with something as simple as, hey, Tom, I noticed that you haven't been opening my emails. Are you still interested in hearing from me? If so, click this link to grab this free offer. Maybe you put together a free offer just for your re-engagement campaign. You say, grab this free gift, click the link, and then I'll know you're still interested. Okay, now if they click it, you can set your automation to say, good, they're still engaged, forget about it, put them back into the regular nurture sequence. If they don't click it, it'll go to email number 2. Tom, I wrote to you yesterday and haven't heard back. Maybe your interests have changed. Maybe you're not interested in podcasting anymore. If that's the case, that's totally fine. But if you're still interested, click here and grab this free gift. So again, it's a series of 5 emails or so that every day you get a little more intense with, come on, where are you? And by the last one, it's something along the lines of, is today goodbye? And then in the email, that would be the subject line. And then in the email, you might say, hey, look, you haven't been engaging. Maybe your email address has changed. Maybe you're not even receiving this. Either way, if you're still interested, click this link and grab this free gift so I know. Otherwise, tomorrow, I'm going to delete you from my email list. And that's super important to do because it helps you with your list hygiene and helps you keep your list clean, your deliverability higher. Okay. So that's the re-engagement sequence. I hope this is landing for y'all. I know we're doing kind of a deep dive as this is called, and you'll have the recording available to you later. We'll put it together for you so that you could actually go through and make better notes if you're not getting them so far. All right. But this is the detail of simple paint by number process. All right. Now, while all of this is happening, you're going to want to make sure that you're set up to make offers and collect money. And this is going to require setting up checkout pages, which, as I mentioned earlier, most advanced CRMs can handle with ease. And making your offer falls into the category of sales. As I mentioned earlier, we're not going to dig a lot into sales, but I do want to cover some foundational business knowledge around selling that I think it's so key that you understand. And so many beginner entrepreneurs just don't get this. And this is a thing known as the buyer's pyramid. Okay. Wait a minute. Did I have the wrong slide here? Oh, here. I just wanted to go real quickly into, before we get into the buyer's pyramid. Sorry, bait and switch there. We'll get into it. But first, a real quick recap of how to convert these leads into buyers. Okay. You indoctrinate them through that sequence because you want to build a habit, the habit of them opening your emails. Okay. And that's the importance of the indoctrination sequence. The nurture sequence is because you want to build trust. All right. Nurture, continue to give value. They start to trust you. And you've probably heard the expression know, like, and trust. Well, super important to really grow your business. And so you want to continue to nurture by giving continued value. Sell as you've built the trust. Now you can start to sell. Now you can start to put offers into your emails, and that's what's going to get people to play more in your world. And by the way, not all offers are about making money. You're here today because I made an offer to take advantage of this free piece here. Um, Super valuable for you, hopefully, but it's free. But I still had to make the offer to you to have you show up. All right. And finally, the re-engage. Okay, that's when people start to fall away. What can you do to bring them back into the fold and re-engage them more? Okay, saw a question in the chat. Do these apply to nonprofits? Absolutely. Any of these things. Now, maybe a little bit different if you're not selling, but nonprofits still make offers. Hey, come and join us. Or maybe it's a fundraising offer. It still kind of all plays along the same way. Okay, so back to the buyer's pyramid. So now this is the piece that I want you to really get. This is going to help you in not necessarily in your selling, though it could certainly help there, but more about strategy and understanding that. Let me just backstep a little bit here with this. I often get a complaint from people that might say, well, I got all these leads and nobody bought. Well, guess what? You obviously don't know the buyer's pyramid. And for you to just say, well, they're all bad leads, that's just stupid on your part. And it's stupid simply because you're uneducated around the buyer's pyramid. So, what does the buyer's pyramid mean? Let me ask you this first. Have you ever heard of a brand called Toyota? I don't know why I like to use Toyota, but I've owned a few Toyotas in my life. I like them as cars. So Toyota is a great brand. And you'd probably be hard pressed to find anybody, at least here in the US, who hasn't heard of Toyota. Okay. Does Toyota still advertise? Absolutely, they still advertise. Okay. Because it's not just about being known, it's about being top of mind. And that's where the buyer's pyramid comes in. And Toyota and all the automotive dealerships and all the big businesses know this quite well. And they know that at any given moment, only 3% of the market, I don't care what market it is, these averages pretty much hold true across all, only about 3% of the market are buying right now. Okay. 3% of the auto driving market out there right now, of people who are old enough to own a car, are buying at this moment. The next 7% of the market, they're going to be ready to buy real soon, maybe in a couple of weeks. Not quite today, but they're thinking about it and they're going to be buying real soon. The next 30% of the market, they're not going to be ready to buy for a while. I love using the automotive industry because I think everybody can kind of relate to it. But let's say, as an example, you have an auto lease and you know your lease is going to expire in 6 months. Well, you're not going to be ready to buy a car for 6 months. You fall into this part. You're not ready to buy for quite a while. The next 30% of the market just bought a car. So they're not going to be ready to buy for maybe 5 or 6 years. Maybe if you're in the coaching space, and I know I've heard this time and again, someone says, oh, Michael, I would have loved to have gotten your program, but I just signed up for someone else's program. Okay, it's a little frustrating, but it happens. And that is that percentage of the market that they just bought. And so they're not going to be ready to buy your product or program or service. And finally, this last piece, and this might find a little bit interesting for some of you, 30% will never buy from you, period. And in the automotive industry, kind of a funny little side story on that. When I was back in my acting days, I became an actor. I was working in LA and then I moved to New York and I was completing a resume. And if you know anything about the acting space, in an acting resume, if you have any special skills or talents, you have a section in your resume where you put those. And I had my skills and talents. I'm a professional horseman. I'm an experienced stage fighter. And someone said, well, you need to add driver's license that you know how to drive a car. I'm like, everybody knows how to drive a car. And they're like, not in New York. And it was an eye opener for me because people who live in New York or any big city where they use mass transit, those people will probably never buy a car. And so knowing the buyer's pyramid is key to understanding your list, your people who are coming into your world. Understand that they've opted in for your list today. Doesn't mean they're at that 3% or even 7%, but you still have to nurture them for the time that when they're ready to go. Okay. Is everybody picking up what I'm laying down here? I hope this is helping. And by the way, I see some questions popping in the chat. Because we're recording this and going to make it available for a lot of folks, I'll probably answer most of the questions at the end. Okay. So just keep that in mind. I will get back to these, and you may have to retype it in a little bit later, but we're going to do some good Q&A as well. All right. So this is the thing. What's another piece that you may have noticed about the automotive industry? Okay. And this is, again, I love using the automotive industry because it works so well with it. But another thing that's super important for entrepreneurs to understand is that you need to have layers of pricing offers. What do I mean by that? You got to think like big business. If you go in to buy a car, they're going to have an entry level model, and they're going to have all the way up to a luxury model. So you need to have a spectrum of prices, not just this is the only thing I got. It's the one price. I mean, you can do that. I'm not saying, you won't be able to sell it, but I'm saying you're not going to be able to sell as much because you're going to be very limited on people who are in that buying space. Okay. If someone wants luxury, but all you've got is, a low end, they're never going to be your client. And if you want to really broaden that spectrum, you need to have a spectrum of prices. This also allows you to mix up your offers. So, hey, I have this low end offer. Are you interested? Or for some clients, you go, look, I've got this really high ticket piece that maybe would be more up your alley. Businesses always want to stay on top of mind. And that's why they continue to market and get in front of people and in front of people and in front of people over and over again. So that when you are in that 3%, you're not thinking about someone else. You're not thinking about Ford or Hyundai or anyone else. You're thinking Toyota. Okay. So you want to stay top of mind. Other things that big business do is they're not afraid to sell. And I see entrepreneurs, especially when they're growing their lists, they're worried about making offers. They're afraid to scare people away, or I'm afraid they'll opt out because I'm being pushy. Well, you're in business to sell. You're not in business to make pen pals. So don't be afraid to sell. All right. And so, like I was talking about with the entry level all the way up to luxury, in your business, you also need to have a similar, what I call layer cake pricing. Okay. There's multiple layers to it. You're going to want to have what's called a tripwire. This is your low ticket item. This is something to get someone in the door, their first time ever purchasing from you. Okay. Your low ticket item called a tripwire is usually going to be under $25. Next up, you're going to want a standard low ticket. Maybe it's a ticket to an event, or maybe it's a low mini course that you have. $97 is often you'll see things priced there. That's your low ticket offer. Next, you're going to have a low to mid ticket, which is typically between $100 and $500. $497, you'll often see things priced at that. That is a low to mid ticket offer. And that's another good stepping stone for people to come into your world. Mid ticket, you're talking now around 2 grand. I have one of my courses I sell, my super podcast course, which is called the Zero to Launch Podcast Accelerator, sells at $1,997, and that's a mid ticket offer. High mid ticket is going to be anywhere from 2 to 5,000. Okay, maybe it's I sell a half day VIP day with me for 4,997, so basically 5K. That's considered a high to mid ticket offer. Then you're going to have a high ticket offer, which could be up to as high as $25,000 and possibly even more. And when you go a bit more than that, now you're talking VIP luxury. These are things Jeff Walker offers his Platt program at around $50,000, annually for that. So that is your VIP or your luxury pricing. So you see, you have a layer cake here of all the prices, getting people into your world, having them slowly build up. And sometimes, by the way, they'll make the leap. They may come in at a tripwire, and the next thing you know, they bought your luxury product. Okay. But it's very important for you to really not leave money on the table, serve your clients well, serve a broader spectrum of clients by having layered pricing. All right. In the words of Jeff Walker, who I've mentioned a couple times today, he's the creator of the product launch formula and a 10-figure entrepreneur. There are two rules of any business: only sell stuff the market really wants. And rule number two, always be building your list. And the hands down best way to get more leads is through the use of a highly converting, irresistible free gift offer, which we've talked about, your lead magnet. Okay, now we're going to jump into some list growth strategies because here's the deal. We've talked about list building. We've talked about your lead magnet. And here's the thing. Unlike Field of Dreams, I don't know how many of you are familiar with that movie or not, but maybe not. If you don't know the movie, you probably are familiar with the expression, if you build it, they will come. Well, your lead magnet is not like that. Just because you build it does not mean they're going to come. They've got to see it first. You've got to get your lead magnet in front of the right eyeballs on a consistent basis. Okay. So here are some common ways to get exposure for your lead magnet. Number one is your website. Absolutely put your lead magnet on your website. However much traffic you get there, that's going to be great. And some of them will spot your lead magnet. They'll go, okay, cool, I'll grab this. And they'll opt into your world. The challenge with website, by the way, unless you're doing something to drive a lot of traffic there, it's just going to be a trickle. You might get a couple a month opt in for it, but not a whole lot. And so website is definitely one to place it, but it's not going to be a game changer for you. Next up, social media. And by the way, we can talk about social media like you're going to post it into your Facebook group, your Instagram, whatever it is that you use to build a social following. You can certainly put your lead magnet there. And potentially you could even do paid ads and pay to boost it, or you can just run full on sponsorships. That's a great way to grow your list. But again, if you're just doing posting to your social media, well, how many people are actually seeing it? You got to kind of hope that Facebook or Instagram puts it in front of the right eyeballs and that it shows up in their screen at the right time. And if you're paying for ads, well, any of you who do that, you know how expensive that could end up being. Next up, podcast, or maybe you got a YouTube channel. And I'm a podcast coach. I've been coaching it for 10 years. And I got to say, podcasting is great. But similarly, let's say you've built an audience of 1,000 listeners. Well, maybe you get a bunch of them to opt in for your list, but unless that podcast audience is continuing to grow, you've kind of hit a plateau and you're not going to continue to get a bunch of leads from it unless you keep growing that audience. And that's not an easy task. Same thing with your YouTube channel. You got to continue to get it in front of new people. And that takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, and it's kind of hit or miss. Events and stages. I do this all the time. Chris and I, we run our own events. We also get on stages, other people's stages where we're invited to speak, do this a lot, and it provides leads. I mean, let's be real. These are all great list growth strategies, but none of them are going to break the bank. Events and stages, and maybe you're lucky enough to get on a stage where there's 50 people, and maybe a portion of them will opt in for your free offer, but then you're back home to nothing. And now you got to go find another stage or create another event to get more people there. So there's a lot of effort involved in it. And it's definitely something you should do. But again, not a big game changer. Virtual summits, also awesome. Much like podcasts, these are interviews that you're going to be doing. I just got interviewed for a virtual summit yesterday, which will be coming out in February. And then Chris and I are both going to be interviewed in one in February that comes out in April. So love virtual summits, but maybe if we're lucky, we'll get 40 or 50 people added to our list from that. Not a game changer. Now, the next one, JV partnerships. And by the way, I've done a whole training on JV partnerships in our YouTube channel. I'd love for you to check that out as well. But I have to say this, JV partnerships are great, but it's kind of like you get a whole bunch at once and then not going to get anything until you do a next big launch. So it's not consistent. It's like an annual thing potentially, or twice a year when you do a big JV launch. Or maybe you're doing once a month webinars with JV partners and you'll get lesser results, and they'll spike for a little bit. But again, it's inconsistent. Okay. Great to do, not the end all be all. And finally, giveaways. Now, giveaways we're going to dig into a bit more deeper, specifically because we've created something that is a bit disruptive in the industry. And what I mean by disruptive is we took something that's been around for a long time and we mixed it with a membership style of community and joint venture partnershiping to create a kind of a hybrid that I think makes it just really easy to use and produces much better results. And we'll dig into more of that as we go today. But for now, these are the ways that you're going to want to get that extra exposure for your lead magnet because you got to get it out in front of the eyeballs. All right. So, giveaways that I just mentioned, for those of you who may not be super familiar with them, let me explain what a giveaway is. By definition, a giveaway is a collection of valuable free gifts, often in the form of lead magnets. And we talked about lead magnets today, and so hopefully you have a good understanding of that. A giveaway is a collection of these lead magnets thoughtfully curated by a single host and contributed to by a diverse range of guest experts. Okay, that's kind of it in a nutshell in the definition. But the bottom line is that these giveaways, with all of these guest experts contributing and each one promoting to their list, it really helps them to grow all of their lists. Okay, it's like a rising tide lifts all boats. Giveaways are a great way to achieve that. Why? Why giveaways? Here's the thing with giveaways. It's a really low cost per lead. And for any of you who've ever done any work with Facebook ads, oh my goodness, I may as well have just set my money on fire. I've not mastered that. I know some people who are doing great with it. I'm not one of them, but I can say that even those who are doing well with it, they're happy when they're paying $15 a lead. And that to me is kind of a high cost per lead. Giveaways are a fraction of that, and we'll dig more into that in a little bit as well. Giveaways are also great because they're consistent. Now, I got to be frank here in this one. That wasn't always the case. And in some ways, it's still not the case. So let me explain. When I first started in this industry, my list was really small. I mean, we all start with zero, okay? And I remember the first time I heard of a giveaway about 10 years ago, and I'm going, oh, that sounds really cool. A great way to grow my list. I really want to grow my list. Can I be in your giveaway? And they said, well, how big is your list? And I said, 300. And they're like, oh, sorry, you have to have a list size of 2,000 or more to be in our giveaway. And I was like, oh, well, that sucked. So what I did is not to be deterred. I went out and built my own giveaway and started running one myself. Now that's a heck of a lot of work and challenges around that and a whole other ball game, but it really was something to do. As that's grown for me, I started using giveaways on a regular basis. I started teaching giveaways. And what I said about consistent that they are now versus the way it used to be, well, here's the other thing. Even when I ran my own, well, there it wasn't consistent because I wasn't doing them with frequency, and I still wasn't getting invited to be in other giveaways. We've turned all that around with Infinite Lists, and I'll tell you how we did that later. The other thing is it's high quantity. It's not unusual to be in a giveaway and get, 500 opt-ins like that. I was talking to one of our clients just the other day. She was just in a giveaway and brought in 400. I've had another one who's brought in 600. And it's really a great way to get a whole bunch of leads in bulk in a short period of time. We're talking 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. So the quantity is really good. Next is their warm leads. And what I mean by that is you can run a Facebook ad. And again, I'm not knocking it. Expensive, yes, but they work when you're good at it. And but they're not necessarily warm. They saw your promo, your sponsor on Facebook, but you don't know who they are. You don't know where they came from. They just saw it. It could be a troll for all you know that they've opted in for your free thing. And now you've got this lead, but you don't know that they're warm. When someone opts in for your giveaway, here's two things we know about them. One, they're coming to your list from someone else in the giveaways list. Okay. So let's say, you're in this and you're in this giveaway with, I'll use Krista here, my partner. Krista promotes to her list. They opt into the giveaway. And then they see my gift and they go, oh, cool, I want Michael's gift too. So I know that they're coming through someone else in this giveaway. And I also know that they're engaged. They opened Krista's email. It means it's someone who is open to receiving email and pays attention, engages. So that's a much warmer lead than just randomly finding somebody out in the social media world. Okay. Finally, easy implementation. Giveaways are not hard to do. You have your lead magnet. And by the way, your lead magnet is going to encompass, when it's completed, your title, your description, your link, and your graphic. Those four elements. So you provide those to the giveaway host so they can put it together on a panel and an offer. And then you queue up emails. They'll provide you with swipe copy, the emails that you're going to want to send out to invite your list to join the giveaway. And it's that simple. So implementation is also pretty easy. By the way, we're going to take just a short break here to slow down for a moment. I have a whole bunch of trainings, and as I mentioned, we're doing some work coming up this weekend on our YouTube channel. So I'd love it if you haven't yet to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. I'll leave that on the screen there for a moment so you can scan that in, or you can simply find us. I believe we're Infinite List 24/7 over on YouTube. So go check it out. Would love to have you subscribe. And I put in a lot of free training all around list building, business growth, and other elements of your business as well. So check that out, please. Okay. Now I want to have everybody shake it off a little bit because we're going to get cerebral here. Okay. What do I mean by that? We're going to just play with numbers. This is math. And much like science, as we talked about, this is not rocket science, but there is some math that you should know about the world of your business. And unfortunately, most entrepreneurs either don't know, don't pay attention, or they're just not educated to really kind of look and see. And I'm sure you've all heard the term bean counters. And while maybe we don't like the idea of being a bean counter, it is important to know your numbers because that's what's going to help you succeed in business. And so we're going to measure first your CPL, that's your cost per lead. And we want to look at this from the respect of how much should you be spending on your leads? Now, I'm going to break this down real quickly before we dig into the numbers on the slide here. But let's say if you know that you make for any lead who comes into your world, you're going to make $1,000. And that's all profit, by the way, just to make ease of math here. It's obviously you're going to have overhead and expenses, but let's say it's all profit. You make 1,000. Well, how much could you spend to get that lead that would make it worth it? Well, then that's where margin comes in. So if you spend $500 to get the lead and you make 1,000, well, you've made 50% on that. Okay. Half of that 1,000 is profit margin now. So these are the kind of numbers you need to know. And in order to do that, you need to understand sometimes people will call this LTV, lifetime value. I actually prefer to use LCV, lifetime customer value. That is how much on average do your customers, your clients spend with you over the term of your engagement. And maybe by the way, this is not one of those numbers that has to be 100% accurate, okay? But you should look at it. And maybe you can never be accurate because people are still spending money with you. So you don't know because they're still spending and that's going to grow, but you at least get an estimate. And by the way, for those of you who may be like perfectionists, okay? As an example, I want to tell you the difference between being accurate and being exact. Okay. If someone asks you how old you are and you say, well, I'm 59. Well, in actuality, you're probably, while that is accurate, it's not exact. You're 59, 123 days old. Okay. That's more exact, but accurate is good enough. And accurate is good enough here. Okay. I hope this is lining up for you. So, what's your lifetime customer value? Next, you need to know your percentages. And we're going to dig into these a little bit more as we go through this. But what are your percentages? And specifically, what percentage of your audience of your list has ever bought from you? That's a good percentage to know. Okay. What percentage of your list buys from you? This is another piece here that's super important. Time is your friend, but it can also be your enemy. We're not going to dig too deeply into that because it's it really, we could do a deep dive, and I'll save this for another day on one of our YouTube channels. But just understanding that, the longer someone is with you, like I've had people on my list who were there for a long time before they bought, understand that. So it also changes your math a little bit. So that's where I'm saying it could be your friend, but it could also be your enemy. And then you also have to have this grasp of the buyer's pyramid that we talked about, which is also why these kind of relate together because someone's not in that 3% yet. And it may be 5 years. Maybe they just bought their car, maybe 5 years before they buy, but it doesn't mean you don't want to keep working with them. Okay. So these are some of the things you want to look at as you're looking at, okay, how much am I going to spend to get my leads? So now let's get into the nuts and bolts, revenue calculation. I'm just playing with easy numbers here for math so that we don't have to get our calculators and rack our brains. But let's say your lifetime customer value is $1,000. Okay, that's kind of low, but let's just play with that. And you have a 2% conversion rate. Remember, I talked about knowing your percentages? 2% conversion rate simply means that out of, let's say you have 1,000 people on your list, and you get a 2% conversion, means 20 of them would buy from you. Okay. So in this case, let's say you have a 2% conversion rate and you have 1,500 leads. 2% of 1,500 means you're going to get 30 buyers. 30 buyers with a customer lifetime value of $1,000 means those 1,500 leads are worth $30,000. I hope I'm going to pause for a moment. I want this to sink in for everybody. Those 30,000 leads, because you know you have a 2% conversion rate and you know you have $1,000 lifetime value, 1,500 warm leads, okay, not cold leads or other stuff. These warm leads we're talking about, they're worth $30,000. I hope this is sinking in for you because it's super important. And you need to look at the numbers in your business because it's going to be different for every one of you to know these numbers for yourself. Next, let's say your target revenue, and this is how you build your business and start to scale. If your target revenue is $300,000, that's how much you want to make in the coming year. And by the way, let's, for the sake of customer lifetime value, let's say that's 1 year. Okay, because we want to be able to play with, how our numbers would work if we want $300,000 in the next year, or let's say 2025. If our target revenue is 300,000, okay, again, simple math. I played with numbers for simple math. It would require, remember, 30,000 to 300,000 is a 10 times factor. We need 10 times the leads. So instead of 1,500 leads, in order to hit 300,000, I need 15,000 leads. Is this making sense for everybody? This is how we reverse engineer the growth of a business and we set targets. All businesses that are big businesses, they're setting targets, they're setting sales goals, and they know from based on their stats, okay, if these are our sales goals, this is how many new leads we need to generate. And if we know our team closes this percentage, that 2% conversion rate, this means we need to do advertising to bring in this many more leads. Okay. It's just math and it's not difficult math. It's really not. And this calculation, and again, you guys will have this in playback, you can use this to set up your own business for success. And now let's say time to goal. In this case, we're saying 10 years. They're going to want to do, long time. It would take them a long time to get there, okay, at this rate. If they're only getting, and by the way, this math is done, if they're only getting 1,500 leads per year, and this is their rate, it's going to take them 10 years to hit that goal. And we don't want to do that. Of course, we want to make more. So let's talk about it a little bit differently. Because if you really want to scale, here's what you need to do. First of all, you want a higher lifetime value, lifetime customer value. And by the way, the 1,000 we were working with was for easy numbers. It's probably going to be 3,000 or more. Do this for yourself right now. Figure out what is your lifetime customer value. For many of you, it's going to be much higher. I know for myself, I think the last time we calculated, it's around $5,116. But let's say it's 3,000. Again, easy math. Let's say you increase your conversion rate to 3%. That's just a 1% increase, but you increase it to 3%. You get a little better at your sales. Okay. Now you have 1,500 leads. That's equated to 45 buyers. Okay. 45 buyers at a $3,000 lifetime value. Now you're at $135,000. Your target revenue still 300,000. Leads required is 3,334. Now, how quickly can you get to 3,334 leads? Time to goal, 27 months. Okay. Just through improving a few little pieces along the way, look how much quicker you're going to get yourself to the number that you want to be. All right. This is how you scale your business. You're going to improve your conversion rate. You're going to increase your customer lifetime value. You will hit your goals much faster. Okay. There's another piece that you can do to increase this as well, which we haven't tapped into yet, but we're about to. And that is, well, first, let's get a little quote here from Amy Porterfield. This is old, by the way. She's now made over 100 million. But Amy said, after 13 years in business, 46,000 students and 43 million in revenue, I can confidently say, when your email list grows, your business grows with it. And now we've come full circle to how are you going to grow your list so that you can grow your business? Well, Infinite List, as I mentioned earlier, we make the lead generation part easy because we are masters in the space of giveaways. And if you'd like, I'd love to show you how you can get your leads for less than 50 cents each. Okay. How many of you'd like to get your leads for less than 50 cents each? I know I like getting them that cheaply. And so we're going to show you how to do that. We make generation easy. And here's how you do it. You can join Infinite List. We're going to put a special offer price up today. You can join for as little as $825 for 12 months. That's the annual price if you join at our low level base, our starting tier, which is called Premier. $825 for 12 months. And in actuality, we're going to even give you a 13th month for free if you do annual. But here's the thing. Then you're going to participate in 12 or more giveaways during the course of your time. You will grow your list by 1,650 leads or more. And if you don't, you will continue participation for free until you do. That's what we call put our money where our mouth is guarantee. Okay. We know the effectiveness of giveaways and we train you on having a better lead magnet, better conversion metrics. We help you to get your conversion up. We generate the leads with you through our giveaways and we do the guarantee. So this is what's going to get you your leads for less than 50 cents each. And it's very simple. Again, it's a one-time offer here we're putting together for you today. I know we offered this during our list building extravaganza for any of you who may have been there. But again, people during the extravaganza, we got some feedback that they weren't understanding the strategy. So we said, all right, let's do another training. Let's really focus just on strategy from a ground floor level, and we'll put the offer back out again today. So here's the deal. You can scan that QR code and go join now. You will not find this is not a regular website. Don't go to infinite-list.com because on this site today, we're going to give you the special offer, the extra month when you join annually, and we're going to give you $13,000 in added bonuses. A lot of our members have said, hey, we love the community. We want to support new members coming in to help them be more successful. We're going to throw in all these free bonuses of our stuff. And so we're going to include over $13,000 or right around $13,000 in additional bonuses when you join today by clicking on this QR code and coming in to play with us. Okay, I want to give you some of our testimonials from some of our clients who are playing full out. This is Christy Ruffino, who says, as a direct result of the Infinite List giveaways, I've gotten 3,161 leads and closed 10,757 in sales so far. And this is an old quote, by the way. We were hanging out with her on the Marketers Cruise last week, and she said, oh, it's gone up way more since then. Christy is totally one of our players playing full out, and she is having great success with it. Okay. And by the way, I will say, by law, I'm also required to say this, that these results are not typical. These are the results of our members who are playing full out. You have to play full out. Much like a gym membership, if you join and you don't show up and you don't play, you're not going to get results. But if you do play full out, you can end up having the success like Virginia's had. I'm so happy to have joined the Infinite List and to take part in so many powerful giveaways. My email list has nearly doubled in a few short months. I'm going to drop on down. I attracted 2 new clients in the first month, which more than covered the cost of Infinite List annual membership. Okay, that's your return on investment that we're talking about. All it takes is one of these buyers coming in, and you can pay for your whole membership real quickly, and we're going to generate the leads for you to make that happen. Nedra Wendell said, since pivoting my business and working with Michael and Krista, I've seen incredible results. My list has grown by 800 quality leads just since the spring. This, of course, was a quote from several months back. I think at that point she had been in with us for just a few months. So I guarantee you that you will get the leads and we will support you to get there. This is from another person we were hanging out with on the cruise, Diane Forster, one of our new members. She says, I managed to gain 88 new opt-ins to my list from just 3 emails. And even more impressively, I've already generated 16,000 in revenue from those new leads. So we invite you to come and play with this. I'm going to put the screen up for you once more there. This is a special one-time offer. You can join anytime. So let me be real clear. And the more you get to know me, you know that I'm a straight shooter. Transparency is key with me. You don't have to join today. You can join tomorrow, the next day, any day thereafter. Infinite-list.com is our main website. However, if you go there later, you will not get the specials that you're getting on this page. This link that we're sending you to right now is specific to today's offer, okay? And this is not our regular website offer. You will get an additional free month when you sign up for annual. If you choose one of our annual plans, we have 3 different tiers of plans depending on the level you want to play at. And you will get nearly $13,000 in added bonuses when you join today. You get those bonuses even if you sign up on the monthly plan, by the way. You can join monthly for as low as $250 right now. Okay. We keep it simple, we keep it easy. And by the way, we train you. Okay. So I want to just cover, and you'll see it on the website, but I want to just share a little bit of it with you now. And I'm going to stop the screen share and I'll come back to the slide in a little bit. But I want to tell you that as part of membership, we train you. So first off, right out of the gate, when you join, in addition to if you join today, all those bonuses you're going to get, you also get, anyone who joins anytime gets our list building boot camp. Now, the list building boot camp is a 15 module training that does a deeper dive into a lot of what we talked about today, but it covers sales. It covers your campaign, email campaigns a little bit more deeply, covers lead magnet growth strategies. It covers giveaways as a strategy. 15 module boot camp. It's a $997 course. That's yours, included in membership. We do 5 calls every month. Now, I have to be clear in this because some people think, oh, I don't have time for another program and all those calls. Hey, this is not a program. You don't have to come to any of those calls. Those are just extra bonuses that we give to you to support you. 3 of those calls are called Ask Me Anything calls. Every month we do 3 Ask Me Anything calls where you can jump in and go, hey, Michael, I'm struggling with the title of my lead magnet. Could you help me work on this? And we do it in a group setting. So you'll get feedback from some of the other members as well as myself and Krista, and we'll help you build a better title for your lead magnet. Your question may be, what about my opt-in page? Is this built right? We're there to support you. Those 3 Ask Me Anything calls happen every month. You get access to those, optional completely. 2 community calls every month. This is where you're going to meet and connect with other joint venture partners, people who are members of Infinite List, who may have a giveaway going on, and they'll say, hey, I want you to be in my giveaway. I think you'd be a great fit. You also may make partners to do stuff outside of Infinite List as a community. So those 5 calls are available as well. We're a very supportive community. Chris and I love what we do. We're members as well. So we use the service ourselves, and I just would love to have you come and play with us. So I'll put the slide up once more, and then we'll jump back into some Q&A here. Recordings of the calls are available. Absolutely, Sylvain. They certainly are. Would love to have you join in those. And good to see you here, by the way. I know you're in my podcasting program. Awesome to have you in here too. Okay, so there's the slide back up there. And I will look through now. I mentioned that we would get to some of the questions in the chat. So I'm going to see if it was anything in there that looks like someone had a question. Someone's asking about a CRM I recommend to financial professionals, Entreport, Kajabi, or Go High Level. I am a huge, huge fan of Entreport. And I'll tell you why, from a couple perspectives. One is Entreport is probably one of the most robust platforms that I've experienced yet. It houses our membership. Okay, so not only is it a CRM as far as handling your email marketing, but you can put a whole membership group in there, which it does for us. It runs all of our giveaways in an automated way because it has a feature that's known as dynamic CMS, which is really super cool and exciting. It does your affiliate tracking, which is another amazing feature. There's so many great things about it. It is just, I've been with them since 2016 and I have just loved it. And so I will put the link for the chat in there for you for that. And by the way, this is my affiliate link that I'm popping in. And the reason I want to put that in there for you and tell you that, nope, that does not look like that's the right link. Is it? Can someone test that link? I don't think that worked right. Maybe this did not copy.
That was a Zoom link
That was
to the room we're in.
Ignore that one. Here's the right link. Let's see. That looks like the right link. There we go. The reason I wanted to put that in there and share with you is this. Because I'm such a fan of Entreport, and I've referred a lot of my clients to Entreport, I will give you a 1 hour onboarding training in Entreport if you use my link to join. And I do that because I want other people to have success with it. And so if you join, I will find out. Entreport notifies me they have a good affiliate program. And I will be happy to gift you that hour to help you to get onboarded and set up and even give you some business strategy about how to build it to work for specifically what it is that you're doing there. So would be happy to do that, Ravi. So it is available there in the chat. Okay, other questions that have popped up, you are very welcome. Let's see what else we have in here. I know there were some good questions coming up later. Uh, Sorry, I missed the nurture part. Is that 5 emails? The nurture sequence. Oh, Karen's not here, but I will answer this in case she is watching this in playback. The 5 email sequence, and actually it's a 5 to 7 email sequence, is the indoctrination campaign, and the re-engagement campaign is 5 emails. The nurture sequence is ongoing. Okay. And that's if you're using that type of a sequence, it should be a weekly email. Now, one of the things that I train as a little workaround for this is that you don't have to write a new email every week. You literally could create 52 emails and have somebody process through that nurture sequence. Remember, they're evergreen. And then at the end of that sequence, you could have them restart. Because I promise you, if someone's gotten your email once a week for 52 weeks, and then all of a sudden they get the one that they got a year ago, they're not going to remember it. And it's evergreen, so it doesn't have to do with anything on a timeliness basis. And here's the other piece. Maybe at the first time they received it, they were busy in their life and it didn't have as much relevance to them, even though you're laying down some good wisdom. They get it a year later and it may be like, oh, this lands at just the perfect time for them. So you can um, kind of recycle through your nurture sequence. You don't have to continue to make those ongoing. Let's see, another question in here. How does it compare with Go High Level or Groove Funnels? Um, I'm not a big fan of groove funnels. I have it. I have one of the things that I didn't mention about one of my podcasts. I have one of them was called Buy This, Not That. And back when I was running that podcast, it's still out there, but I'm just not putting new content into it. But I used to review different technology. It was kind of a review show. And so I've tried all the different CRMs. And I bought Groove Funnels because it was a lifetime deal, and I still own it. I never use it because it's not user friendly and it doesn't do everything that Entreport will. Go high level. I'll be honest, I haven't played with it yet. I know a lot of people use it, but again, I've heard it's not as user friendly, and I don't know that it can do the dynamic CMS piece that Entreport does, which is also really super cool. So it again, it's not something that I'm a big fan of. All right. Okay, other questions. Let's see what's popping up. For those of you, I know some people were asking about, is there going to be a recording? This is going to be placed into our YouTube channel, and we'll give you the link so that you'll be able to check that out. I would love it if you all subscribe to our YouTube channel so that anytime we do videos like this that maybe you don't attend, we're still going to put it over into YouTube for you to be able to check it out. What is dynamic CMS? Yeah, great question. I'm not sure what the CMS stands for. I probably should know that, but what the dynamic piece is this. Imagine it's in when it comes to databases, there is what's known as a parent-child relationship. Okay, so you've got this information here, and then there's all these little sub things, which are the children connected to this bigger piece. And now imagine you have information on, let's say you got 20 customers here, and you have information on each of these customers. And you can create a sheet over here that says dynamically pull information and populate this page with information from only the customers who have been with me for 2 years. And so it's dynamic. And so it will add to this page. And then if all of a sudden someone is now 2 years added, boom, it's dynamic. It will pop it over. So that's the dynamic element of maybe the CMS is customer management software. I don't know. But what it does is it will, as an example, in our giveaways, um, let's say we have a giveaway running, and the giveaway says anyone who signed up to be in the content that converts toolkit put their information in this giveaway. Well, now it's got all these people who've already signed up, and now you sign up, Sylvain, and it'll go, okay, it'll add you right away dynamically. We don't have to manually go in and do that. It's dynamic, and it's really cool. It is customer content management system. There we go. Thank you, Chris. So it's really a cool feature that we are absolutely loving, and there's so much that you can do with it. We've been playing with it yesterday with one of our partners who were looking to do some stuff to make our list growth even better. So we're looking at some more of the dynamic ways that we can do that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Krista has a good idea here. I want to show y'all something. I also love to do a little bit of show and tell. And so while we look at some other questions, monthly cost for Entreport. It will vary depending on the size of your list, how many emails you're going to send, a variety of things. But if you go to their page, I believe it will show you a variety of the offer prices that they have. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a little show and tell by showing you all our giveaway calendar. And this is what our member portal looks like. So when you log in as a member at Infinite List, you will be taken to your homepage. And I'm not going to go to my homepage because it also has my bio with a whole bunch of revealing information, including my phone number and everything else. So we'll skip right to this page, which is our calendar. So up in the main menu here, you see the word giveaway calendar. And by the way, this page is dynamically generated. This is all built in Entreport that we're looking at right now. This is dynamically generated. So you see the next giveaway that we have coming up here is January 27th. This opens on Monday. And if you wanted to be in this giveaway, you would click on it to sign up for it. Now, on Monday, that's going to go away because there's a setting that says, well, that date's already started. It's going to dynamically jump. This will be the first one as of Monday. It will be the one that starts on February 3rd. But you can see here, these are all of the different giveaways that you could come and join and be in right now. When you're a member, you either pay the annual membership and you're in for the year, and it renews annually, or even if you choose the monthly plan, once you're in, you can go in and you can start jumping into all these giveaways. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually sign up for a giveaway to show you how it works exactly. I don't know. Well, if I've already signed up for one, I can jump back out of it. I forget which ones I've already signed up to be in. But let's say I go here to this one and I go, all right, this giveaway looks like a perfect fit for me. Content creators giveaway. Having someone, training someone to create a podcast is content creation. So this is a good fit for me. So I'm going to click on this content creators giveaway. It tells me about the host, Eva Gregory, one of our members, and gives us some details on the giveaway, the dates of it. It's open from March 31st to April 20th. Details in the giveaway, what's the participation fee includes, promotion, what my promotional commitment is, what are the deadlines. And now you can see here the featured spots are already sold out, but there are basic spots available. There's still 18 spots open. So, and it takes 4 ILM tokens. It's no longer cash because I'm a member. We use our internal tokens. So I'm going to click join now. And I'm going to scroll down here and it says, okay, basic participation. I currently have 125 tokens. I'm going to be using 4. I say, all right, that sounds good. I want to play in this giveaway. So I click on join. And now these are my 4 stored lead magnets. Every member will store and hold up to 4 of your lead magnets. And then it's easy to just put them in. I go, all right, cool. I'm going to use this as content creation. So I'm going to use my podcast lead magnet. Use this gift. It's going to show me this is my graphic. Remember, I said there are 4 parts: my graphic, my title, my description, and then down here is the URL link that I send people to. Now, I can change any of that for this particular giveaway if I wanted to, but I'm like, no, this looks good. I'm going to keep it. And so I say, we're good. And I click submit. Oh, now it goes to my homepage. I'll just zip out of that real fast. And now, if I were to scroll down here, you can see the giveaways that I'm currently in. This one is running right now. This one is running right now. I think it closes on the 26th. Yep. So that will end on Sunday. That's the lead magnet I put in that. It's different. This was the one that opens on Monday using my podcast gift. Here's another one that opens on February 3rd. And I can actually click next and it'll show me the next 4 giveaways that I'm signed up for. I sign up to be in a lot of giveaways. I'm in that one and there it is. So you can see I'm now in this giveaway with this gift. So that's how our member portal works. It's so easy to do and it's highly effective. And by the way, I'm just going to go. Oh, look, I did sign up for it twice. That's okay. I'll delete one of my signups. But I want to do something else while we're in here just to show y'all. So this giveaway is in progress right now. So what I'm going to do, every member who's in a giveaway, you get your own affiliate link to so that we track the opt-ins that you send. So I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put this into our chat. And now I'm also going to open it. Now, any of you can open this for yourself as well and look at it, but I'm going to put it in here and I'm going to open it so you can see this page is dynamically generated. Okay. It pulls every person's gift from their stored lead magnet and builds the page. This is what makes Entreport so powerful. Okay. And so you can scroll down through there. These are all the gifts. Here's my gift that's included in this one, the Ultimate Lead Magnet Playbook. And all of these gifts are included in this giveaway. And all of these partners are out promoting this right now. And the way it works, you'll notice that there's no way to get these other gifts yet. What you have to do is when a partner mails for it, and if you're opting in for it, and by the way, I'd opt in and check it out. But let's say I go here and I go, all right, I'm going to opt in for this. Type in my name, email, and now I click get access. Now that I'm getting access in here, now it changes it. Now I can have access to each of these giveaways. So then I would go through and let's say you're opting in and you go, oh, I want Michael's lead magnet playbook. You would click on get immediate access. And now it takes you to my opt-in page for my lead magnet. And now you would opt in for that. So that's how simple our system works. And for our members, they just continue to grow their leads in an ongoing way. So I hope that little bit of show and tell was helpful for y'all and maybe even answered some questions about the operations of the CMS, which is pretty phenomenal. All right. Let's see. Is the host choosing which of the applicants they choose? Do they include most? The host chooses the title of the giveaway, the dates of the giveaway. We work closely with the host on getting that all set up, the target audience. Then we open it to our community. The host is not picking. You don't get to say you have to be in my giveaway. It doesn't work that way. The host creates it, then the members go through, and if they feel like it's a good fit for them, they will jump in. The host can say, oh, I don't want that person in there. And it won't be usually based on the person. It's probably going to be, yeah, I don't think that's the right gift for my giveaway. So I don't know that that's going to work. That rarely happens. I think it's only happened once because the truth is, it's not going to hurt you. So let me give a real world example. Let's say I'm running a giveaway and the giveaway is based on fitness. And someone says, oh, I want to be in your giveaway. And they're a relationship coach. And they put a gift in my giveaway that's based on fitness that says, how to find your perfect partner. And one would go, that doesn't seem congruent, does it? And so you'd probably go, well, maybe they shouldn't be in the giveaway. However, here's the truth of the matter. Uh, People who are looking for the right partner probably also want to get fit, right? Because it's a matter of are the lists the same? You got this list of people over here are interested in finding a right relationship, and this list of people over here are interested in getting fit. But there is some overlap. So people who want to be in a relationship might also want to get fit. And people who are wanting to get fit might be wanting to get fit because they're looking for a right relationship. So it may not be a 100% match, but there's probably going to be enough overlap to maybe make it worthwhile. And as long as you're not keeping someone else who's a better fit from being in it, why not? So hopefully that was a good answer to your question, although I took the long way to get there. All right. So we're going to wrap this up unless I see any other questions popping up. But just know that I'll go back one more time with the offer that the offer that we're putting out here today is going to go away. And then you just have to join our regular rate. And our regular rate is still a great deal, but you will get all of these extra bonuses when you take advantage of this and join today. Okay. Sylvain's asking maximum number of participants. Absolutely. 35 is the utmost maximum. Typically, we do a cutoff at 30. Then we reach out to the host and we say, do you want to extend it by 5? The reason there is a cutoff, you hit a point of diminishing returns. Anytime I get invited to be in a giveaway, not a part of our community, there are a lot of them going on. They may say, oh, it's going to be amazing. We've got 80 people participating. And in one respect, one might go, wow, that's going to be cool because 80 people mailing means a lot of people are going to see it. But in the other respect, it's not cool because if there are 80 gifts in that giveaway, you're probably going to get lost in the mix. And the people who opt in for that giveaway are going to get burned out. They're going to be opting in for too many gifts. It's just not worth it. It's diminishing returns. We have found after running hundreds and hundreds of giveaways that 30 to 35 is the optimum. And so that is a number that we keep it at. All right, so there is the link for anybody who wants to jump in. I hope that you'll join us. You will love our community. Our community will love you. Thank you guys for showing up today. Again, we'll get the playback to you in a couple of days. And 30 to 35, again, Chris asking there, that's the maximum number of participants, contributors in a giveaway. All right. So y'all have a great rest of your day. And other questions, you can feel free to email us, but also just jump into our community. There is no long-term commitment. Let's say you join for the year rate, or even if you join monthly, you don't have to renew. There is no long-term commitment. Jump in, play, come join the community. See how exciting it is to be a part of it. We got a lot of amazing members, a lot of high rollers you're going to want to play with because that's the other piece of building your list. The bigger your list gets, the more other players in the industry are going to want to cross promote with you, and it just snowballs. And we even do some trainings on this as well. That snowball effect is what's going to really help you take your business to the next level. So I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the next one. Let me stop the share first and then say official big goodbye to everybody. Thank you all for playing today, full out, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future. Ciao.